Hello everyone, it's me Josephine Sneha. Hope you're all doing well. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing a book. It's actually a book series called as Gods on Trial. But here we are going to be only seeing the first book called as Beyond the Father. So this is the book. So I actually read it in Kindle. So like really interesting. So altogether there are like 33 episodes. We have prologue, dedication, epilogue. Personally, I do love books which has these prologue and epilogue because it kind of like sets the mood. The prologue sets the mood because it's in the beginning. So you kind of like get an overview of what to expect from this book. And epilogue kind of like gives a proper closure. It's like when you're watching a play or a movie, the curtain comes down. So there are so many things running in your mind. It keeps on lingering, right? So that's what the epilogue also does. So it was there. So the moment I began to read, so I used to check all the table of contents and everything. So I was like, okay, fine. Then I started reading. Well, indeed, it is a proper book of 313 pages. So it is of course a book which will technically have so many pages. And I did complete this book in one reading. So yesterday I actually completed reading it, and I did find it like really interesting because the author has very well dealt with all the extraterrestrial creatures, the information. It could be even a minute thing, but the writer has taken so many steps in order to reach us in a very good manner and also in an interesting way, because that is like really essential as far as art of storytelling is concerned. So to know more, let's begin, shall we? To begin with, an important thing that I like the most in this book is that the glossary. Of course, since we are dealing with extra things and things which are very close to the author, it almost seems like everything is like properly researched and all the information are produced in a very good chronological manner. So for this, the author has given glossary and additional information in the back. Since I was a PhD researcher, so I'm telling I'm a PhD. So since I was a PhD researcher, I know that we do give a lot of importance to these additional information, extra reading, etc. And we do have maps also. Apart from the glossary, we have maps. So this also kind of like gives an information about what the central kingdom looks like and what are the things we can see. So almost the things are mentioned, the palace ground, everything. So these are all given in the descriptions while the story just moves forward. So it also gives you a pictorial effect and makes it easy for you to imagine. I feel like that is a very important quality when it comes to storytelling, because since we are reading a book that goes on for 313 pages, so it should not be in a monotonous way, right? So while there are like certain illustration, maps, pictures, etc., it adds more things, so it makes it easy for you to imagine. So it's like as if you are traveling along with the major character. And another important thing that I like the most in this book is that the author has a unique way of introducing new chapters through the perspective of each characters. There are so many characters, of course. Keeping track of each character, their progress itself is overwhelming. But then, like, of course, it's different because, as I told you, like, it gives more work to your brain and keeps your brain engaged. As I told you, each chapter begins with each character's perspective, so their story, their struggles, etc. And just like every other literature, this book also deals with different themes like love, power, relationship, betrayal, friendship, trust broken, trying to mend the walls that is like built up, etc. So a lot of things are there, so it keeps it interesting because any literature lover would actually love it. They actually do love to look for all these signs because these are the things that just like it's like a thread that is connecting different pearls in the same string. So any literature student would love to actually trace all these themes because it's very universal. And also these are the themes while reading the book makes us get attached or connected to the characters, or else we'll feel like a bit isolated. Additionally, the author has originally planned to write eight books in this series, of course. So there's going to be an in-depth analysis, in-depth characterization and everything. I can actually see this, even though this is the first book. She has given like lots of description and everything is described in a very perfect manner. As I told you, it's very pictorial in effect. So it gives you a clear-cut picture. Whether we see the map or not, everything is like clear-cut. You can imagine it. And also it's like more or less traveling along with them. Since more description is given, it feels like you're as if in a simulated environment and as if you yourself are participating in it. Speaking of the character I like the most, I did like Anglid, of course, because there are so many catchy dialogues given to Anglid. It could be their presence, the way they deliver their dialogues, and the way they are try to like handle the situation. Everything, I think like the writer has given special or proper importance or proper limelight to Anglid. So I did like Anglid, and not only that, Anglid kind of like questions all the differences the hierarchical things that is happening in the society, because it's more or less like what happens in a kingdom, right? So the king, queen, prince, princess are there. So what exactly is happening? So their disparities, their inequalities, the hierarchy, everything. So Anglet kind of like questions it properly. So I kind of feel like whatever like Anglet questions, it kind of like somewhat I have read somewhere in the gender studies book that was prescribed to me during like my PG or MPhil days. So I did like most of the speeches or things delivered by Anglet. There are like lots of twists and turns in the story. So attention is properly built up till the end. Of course, like there is an ending, but kind of like there is a cliffhanger too. Since I told you there are like series of books, so it kind of look like that, or it could be the way I decipher it too. So if you are a literature student, you can very well go there, read it, because we could find like there are certain similarities from folklores as well. So since we literature students try to read certain folklores, ballads, everything, like preach in the pre-Chaucerian period, so there are I could find certain resemblances. Since this book also talks about a specific tribe, so everything's like kind of like I feel connected. So like since we can identify certain things from literature, it makes the journey even more, the reading process, that's what I call this journey, it makes it even more interesting. These are some of the reasons I love this book so much. And do give it a try. The language, everything is simple. That's how we have come to the end of the video. You can go ahead, check this book in Amazon. You can even purchase it. So since there is a Republic Day offer, you can find lots of books with discounts in Amazon. Go check this out as well. You'll definitely enjoy it. As a literature student, you'll enter into a new fictional world and you'll start living there. We'll meet in some other video. Until that, stay safe and make healthy choices. Bye.